Hi, Erin. Today is the Remembrance Day, and I wanted to touch base with you because I was serving Australian Army in I've enlisted in 1998. Uh, though now I'm working in IT as I was serving in reserves, and just before I was deployed to Iraq um, and Afghanistan, I acquired the injury and I was unable to serve any longer. So wanted to chat to you because I'm Jewish, and I wanted to tell you that I found quite a lot of anti-Semitism in Australia. And it's not coming from Australians, it's not coming from English people. It does come, favoritism is more sitting in companies like in the Greek Italian companies, that's definitely. So I worked in few. I know that literally people who have basically no education are given positions, highly paid positions, because these companies belong to a private person. You can't question it. It's his decision. So one of those companies, I'll just name it, Interactive, um, Esther Solutions, where very smart people are actually underpaid. Just wanted to also tell you that apart from favoritism, anti-Semitism also exists in the Jewish companies. I worked in a Jewish company called Voyager Group. And in this company, a Greek woman came over to me and she complained why I said that to me everyone is Jewish, because I look at everyone in the same way. So another company which I acquired copped anti-Semitism was Oracle CMS. It's near the Victoria Market. The Turkish owner pointed on my kippah. He said, "Why are you wearing this?" And he said to me that if I'm going to work in this company, his wife is definitely going to question if I'm a baby killer, because she's activist against Israel. Though they did like my character and they wanted me to work there, but after I spoke with very hostile Indian person who clearly didn't want me to work there, I just said that I'm not going to. Because I knew that in these circumstances my work wouldn't be, my work span would be only maybe 1 month or 3 months. And yes, there are quite a lot of anti-Semitism for some reason comes from Indians in nowadays. In the Greek company which I worked, another one was recent contract, and I could only work there for 2 months. GJK Facility Services, so the cleaners. So in 2 weeks I acquired the whole system. I was running a team with two juniors, but the Indian IT manager were quite anti-Semitic. She clearly said to me, "What is this smell?" when I was around, like Jews stink, you know. So that's what I've experienced. When I resigned, next day I came in and there was a person who I didn't know, but he didn't know that I'm Jewish, but he saw me because he was going in and out. He is one of the managers in cleaning, also quite a lot of Greeks in there. So because it's a Greek company. So he looked at me, said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Well, I'm wearing the kippah. Are you probably thinking?" And yesterday I've resigned, so I'm not going to. You won't see me again. So do you think I can see that you are thinking that how did a Jew get into a Greek company? And he looked at me, he said, "Yes, exactly that." So, and then apart from that, when I worked in defense, there was no anti-Semitism whatsoever. There was a lot of Jewish people working there, and that was fantastic. That was after GJK. But when I copped another contract in the hospital, I ended up working with two Indians again, and what they've done, they called me while I was not at work, and when they called me, they were near the manager, and what they just done, the guy who called me, his name was, I think, Mohammed. Actually, there was two of them, Abdul, I think something on A, and Mohammed. And Mohammed, when Mohammed was talking to me, he said to me, "You don't have to be rude," and hanged up. So at the manager's side, he showed that I was as if rude to him. So there are quite a lot of anti-Semitism, and unfortunately I believe that people do not hire Jewish people because they're afraid of their team members will make a conflict with the Jewish person. So very simple. It doesn't really matter how much person knows, because people can get by just talking to the customer and saying, "Look, the system is down, but we are working on it," and they calling a third up company, or they hiring someone for the short period of time if they've got no other choice. But in Australia there is a heaps of anti-Semitism, and especially the decision if persons going to work there. Like recently I went to work and I had your videos and I had my Jewish dancing videos wishing everyone good Hanukkah and Christmas. I took off this video because my uncle, Professor Peterman, said to me, who actually was running, he's now retired last years, but he was running Monash University. He said to me that it's very courageous to have you, Erin, on your LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn, but it's probably not a good idea, So, so that's it is quite a lot of issues. So when I went to that company called Lee Care, right, and there was a Yemeni guy who was interviewing me. He was prepared. He saw my LinkedIn definitely. Straight away, hostile face and, all those questions. People do research. If they see you're a Jew, there's no way you're getting a good job. It's probably a good idea to put your payment down, so if everyone gets like $120,000, $150,000 a year, you would work for $80,000. So you have to agree to that, because they will point at you and say, "Look, don't worry, these Jews, they're underpaid, we're getting them." So unfortunately, it's the truth. There are quite a lot of anti-Semitism. Even my uncle was telling me when he was running Monash University, and actually he was the person who set up the first in Australia. Before it was only volunteers, but he set up a first ever faculty of paramedics at Monash University. And I came up to him in 2001, I think, I came up to him because I was just finishing my RMIT degree with a proposal to set up a system that would take information from doctors and when they diagnose people with different diseases, and we would see from accumulation of that with the government that there was a outbreak of some sort of disease, and that system would be very useful for COVID early diagnosis. But guess what my uncle said to me? He said to me, look, they wouldn't even let me do it. So anti-Semitism, Erin, exists in Australia for quite a long time in the world. Why it exists? My personal opinion, it exists because Christian people think that they never learned that Jewish people are simply people of 10 commandments. They think that we are evil people who killed Jesus Christ. And they really believe in that because every time they hear the praise of Saint Paul, who were blaming Jews, etc., a lot of Orthodox Greeks, they hear it all the time. I'm not even going there, okay? So they think that the values like values are Christian values, the values which are pride is sin, and the values, the Christian values, they actually Jewish values. They never say that it actually came off from Torah, from the Jewish Bible. They for some reason they acquired Jewish Bible. They've written the Jesus, life of Jesus, and they think that Jesus written the Bible, the whole lot. Just the normal Christians who don't dare to, who traditional, who are just going through the traditions, believing in, because, look, I'm not saying that it's bad. I think it is fantastic. The Christianity is amazing. Sixteen's Madonna has such a beautiful painting, a face of every woman loving a child, and so on. So it's. I'm not saying that Christianity is bad, but I'm saying that Christian people deny, how to say it, basically. Deny Jews anything to do with Bible, basically. Our ancestors, Jewish ancestors, Jesus, Joshua was Jewish, and he was learning from one of the scholars, and he was bringing up to Greeks and Italians information about 7 deadly sins and the values like don't use the pride, agava, and so on. But unfortunately, it appears to me that Christians think that we go to the synagogue and they're asking me, what are you doing there? They think that we run some sort of medieval evil club, and say, we're doing what you are doing because you're doing what we are doing. We pray for the royal family, we're just doing the same thing. You are doing the same thing what we are doing. You called altar in the church because we have altar. So it's a difficult situation where religion is taking precedence to being a good citizen and denying some citizens rights to work. An interesting thing that you've had Ukrainian guests who had screamed with Russians. That was very rude of them to scream at each other and have such an argument. But in reality, the one of the 10 commandments, do not kill, has been misinterpreted by the Russian priests in saying that it's even good to kill, but kill your enemies. So so basically saying that currently the wars that are going around Russia, who are actually 60% of Muslim, 50% of Muslim population in Russia, and that is forgotten. A lot of people also forget about Russia's structure, so-called Russia. It's not exactly Russia. It's the opposite, like a European Union structure. They've got 21 countries with different Muslim countries like Tatarstan, like Chechenistan, and so on. They all have their own laws. They've got their own languages. They are actually full legal countries within this federation. This is why they called federation. And unfortunately, they attacking single states, like they're attacking little Georgia, they're attacking little Ukraine. And what they're doing, they're wiping off Christian population in cities like Mariupol, and they're building up Muslim mansions up there. And the interesting thing that some people saying that Putin is Tatar. Putin is Tatar means that he is not exactly Russian. He is Islam follower. He was kissing Quran. His wife is Muslim. A lot of misinterpretation about what's happening in Christian world that are suffering now. And obviously on the birthday of that monster Putin, 7th of October, his birthday, he set up the attack against Israel. And a lot of people fail to look at Russian Federation. I was trying to send this information, discuss this information online, and guess what? No one is interested. There was no interest from huge journalists of Ukraine to discuss anything with me, because who I am, no one for them. So those things are terrible, and I just wanted to tell you this, that at the moment no one is blaming Christians and making Christians guilty of having war in Ukraine and making Australia to pay $20 billion every year for the war in Ukraine, and a lot of this money, no one knows what it goes towards, but a lot of people know that a lot of people are dying, right? And they're not blaming Christians, but they do blame Jews, because we might be creating some problem at workplace. So there are huge amounts of anti-Semitism in Australia, and that's unfortunate. And we have to cope it. Thank you, Erin, for your time.